Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Kimi. So it stars Zoe Kravitz, and she is a Seattle tech that hears some horrific data stream. I know, that's what I read on HBO Max. By the way, this is on HBO Max. An agoraphobic Seattle tech worker uncovers evidence of a crime. That's what it says on IMDb. So I was like, let me go to HBO Max because I can give you that info. Not much better there. But it's directed by Steven Spielberg. It's an hour and 29 minutes, a weekday movie. Woo! It's on HBO Max, as I mentioned. If you own HBO Max or you're subscribed to it, you get it for free. It is 6.3 on IMDb. 6,400 people have rated it so far. The only person I recognize Erika Christensen. You ever seen the movie Swim? Swim fan. I remember her from that. And Rita Wilson rings a bell. But other than that, I don't recognize anybody else at this point. But I'm excited. I totally forgot this was out. And prime for the weekday. So sorry, I got itchy in the leg. Let me get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Kimi. Sorry, no check-ins tonight. Short movie, hour and 29 minutes long, and wasn't much to tell, to be honest with you. So, slightly, let me just talk through it. So basically, Zoe Kravitz is a technician for Kimi, which Kimi is basically Echo. You know, the main difference is the Echo here will analyze your speech and and do algorithms and bots, and it's all automated, to make sure it fixes the errors that happens, essentially. So when you start asking for stuff, they're supposed to be fixing it on the back end. Whether that's happening or not, I don't know. But in Kimi's world, basically they hire technicians to follow the errors. So if an error happens when you ask them to play a certain song and they keep getting it wrong, Zoe Kravitz will listen to that and then reprogram it to get it right. And so, it's funny, in the beginning they're interviewing the CEO and they're like, how efficient is that? And it doesn't seem very efficient, but it seems more effective. But anyway, so she's a agoraphobic and basically doesn't like crowds, doesn't like to go out, so she's kind of trapped to her house. And during one of her streams, she hears something where she feels that somebody's in danger. And so she's trying to bring it to light to everybody. And you can imagine how it... Did I say... Oh, Steven Soderbergh's... Oh, okay, original thriller. Alright, I don't know. I thought I saw this was Steven Spielberg. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Oh, yeah, Steven Soderbergh's. Sorry, I don't know if I said Spielberg, but good. He was an Academy Award winning director, so good for him. Anyway, so you can imagine this going a lot of different ways, and I don't want to go into too much detail because, they lead you down a couple of different paths that you can, surmise on your own and see where it goes. And so that whole first part that I shared with you, and even more as it starts to develop and you understand what's kind of going on, I thought it was good. I liked the concept. I like Zoe Kravitz. I thought, the idea here was good. But the execution on the back end was bad. So once it starts going down this path, it's hard to say. So there's at times where it almost felt to me like they didn't take it seriously. Like they set it up as a serious drama, but they don't continue down that path. And so it's hard for me to say. I was really at a 6, and then as other things established, I went to a 5. And so what I'm going to do here is, I'm not going to spoil it to say, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So if you don't want to hear any more about this at all, it was just slightly more revealing, go ahead and end it here. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. But it's really hard to talk about this one without just a little bit more detail. Spoiler alert. Sort of. Spoiler alert. Sort of. Anyway. So, as you can imagine, go down a bunch of different rabbit holes. At some point, there's probably going to be bad guys, right? So, bad guys who may work for big conglomerate companies or important people, right? Let's say, bad guys, hitmen, if you will. that's the piece that got me throughout this. So if you do watch this, watch them. It's almost comical on what they do. You know, I mean, I think that is the biggest. You know, the whole movie wasn't like a dark comedy or a comedy in any way. I don't think there was any laughs in it. But when these clowns come into it, it's like, first I felt the head hitman, if you will, the leader of that group, the head guy, was, I don't know if it was poorly cast or just poorly written, but he didn't seem like what you would, you know, you would hire to do something like they want this guy to be doing. And then even the other, so there's 3 of them essentially, and they're all like, it was like they called people who were bored and brought them in and said, hey, this is what we need you to do. No experience or anything like that. It was really, it was really bad. Even the conversations between them, it just, they missed a boat on that piece, and it just felt out of place and didn't work. And then, you know, and it kind of continues to the dramatic climax. All the way to that point, it really does. And I don't know, it was just really a kind of change in direction from what the rest of the film was. And, you know, they set it up as a possibly psychological, possibly, you know, what is it called when you worry too much? You know what I mean? Hypochondriac kind of stuff. You know, she obviously has some history here. There's a whole history with her mental state, and they play with that a little bit, and they play with everything else that's going on, you know, with the company and everything like that, and it's like, okay, you know, this could be interesting. And they ruined it with that whole hitman piece. So there you go, that's what I got for you. I can't go into any more detail than that. I think I've given you enough. Hopefully you stuck with me. Hopefully I don't think I spoiled it for you, but if it did, I gave you the warning. But if you already saw it, you know what I'm talking about, and hopefully you agree. So because of all that, I went from a 6 down to a 5, I think, on this one. So there you go. That's what I got for you. Again, hopefully I was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.